Hi everyone and welcome. It's me, Flower Child 567, and we're here for the Friday hour Tamriel Storyteller time. So I'm so happy if you're tuning in or already tuned in. I'm happy you are here. I just have a couple of messages to tell you. There is a drop that you can grab, or not even a drop. I don't know if they call it a drop, to be honest. I'm still learning all this lingo stuff. But you can get an Ouroboros crate from Twitch. The information is at the top of the chat, of course, in Twitch. So be sure to grab that and get a couple of freebie things courtesy of Flower Child 567 Twitch TV. So I have with me today a voice from the other world, and that's my dear friend Berg. Hi Berg, can you hear us?
I can. Hi.
Okay, now I want to just test and make sure I'm hearing your voice. So can you just say hi, testing 1, 2, 3?
Who, me?
I need to hear if I'm picking up your voice. Say,
oh, okay.
This is... Okay, go ahead.
Picking up your voice.
Go ahead.
Say, okay. This is...
Yeah, okay. I gotcha. Your voice is coming through just fine on the Twitch. You know, I never know, so that's why I wanted to be sure. Double check. It's always good to do those checks, right? So, okay, you guys. So let me make sure I've got my video running. I think it is. There it is. Welcome to all of you coming in. Nice to see you. Okay, so here we go. Let me open up the armature right here. Let's open that. And we got the candles going. And now let's open the apocryphal tome. There it is. It's bringing or tome, I guess is how you say it. Oh, the green glow. Yay. All right, so guess what? Today we're actually going down into the workshop area. You've never been in this workshop area. So let me open this portal. Let me do my fancy stuff here. So give me a second while I find it. I think it's this. Is it this? Let's see. What am I doing? Oh, well, no, there's the spirits. They're getting out of my book. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to let those guys loose. Here, let me find the other thing that I know is going to open it up for you. There we go. Now I'm opening it up. Yep. Opening that portal of library, of lore for you. Okay, now let's go down. We'll just use this little... See, you're not here, Bergen. You're missing all my little theatrics.
All the fun, huh? Yeah.
All right, we're coming down here. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So look I have really been kind of doing things and setting things up, and my library down here in the workshop area is getting more and more filled up. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm going to come over here, and what I want to read to you today, and maybe Berg and I might even discuss or share some opinions about it, is the lore that has to do with the beginning of our time in ESO, once upon a time. Now, this isn't the way it is anymore, unless unless as a new character you do you talk to the hooded figure, which appears to you the first time you go into a city, or the hooded figure will come up to you and ask to talk to you. And engaging with that hooded figure takes you into what I consider to be the original storyline and quest of Elder Scrolls Online, because it takes you to Coldwater Harbor, and there you undergo a long experience. Lyris Titanborn will free you from a cage. You have been caged. You've actually, believe it or not, been killed, and your soul has been taken from you. Or I don't know if you've been killed, but your soul has been taken from you. And then begins this journey with the prophet and the harborage and the 5 companions, and the search for the Amulet of Kings to get your soul back also from Molag Bal. And I guess you've all heard of, or maybe you've not, but Manny Marco is the bad guy who stole our souls to give it to Molag Bal, the big meanie. Anything you want to add to that summary?
That's not right. I think
it's not right. What do you mean it's not right?
No, it's not right that he gave the soul.
Well, he took the soul. He took the soul from us. Manny Marco imprisoned us, and through magic took the soul, and it siphoned into Molag Bal's keep.
No, you're right. Your story is absolutely correct.
Yeah, so he didn't own, Manny Marco didn't own our souls, Molag Bal did. So we had to go on a campaign to get our soul back. So the very first quest, once upon a time in Elder Scrolls Online, was to get our souls back. So a lot of people don't do that quest. You know that?
Which one?
Why, what's it called? It's the Soul Shriven. That's the Soul Shriven. And when I came into Elder Scrolls Online, it took me into Cold Harbor. That was my entry. Hey, this is back in Morrowind, right, though?
Yeah.
So had to go through Cold Harbor and had to do all of that to really even get over to the map, the main map. So I'm so happy we had to go through that, though, because it really gave for me, a foundation. Hi, everyone. I just peeked over at the chat, and I'm seeing a lot of people coming in. It's nice to see you all. Thank you for tuning in. So I thought I would start with the Amulet of Kings, because this is an important thing at the very beginning of Soul Shriven and the 5 companions. So without further ado, I'm going to open this book right here and read to you the Amulet of Kings, first edition, by the way, by Winningrus Monhona. In the first years of the First Era, a powerful race of elves called the Aelids, or the Heartland High Elves, ruled central Tamriel with an iron hand. The high and haughty Aelids relied on their patrons, the treacherous Daedra lords, to provide armies of Daedra and dead spirits. And with these fearless magical armies, the Aelids preyed without mercy upon the young races of men, slaughtering or enslaving them at their whim. On behalf of the suffering human races, Saint Alacia, I might say things wrong too, sorry. Saint Alacia, the first in the line of Cyrodiils, sought the aid of Akatosh, the dragon god of time and ruler of the noble Aedra. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart, blessed Saint Eliseo with this blood of dragons and made a covenant so long as Eliseo's generations were true to the dragon blood. Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of oblivion and deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies, the Daedra-loving aliens. In token of this covenant, Akatosh gave to Elisea and her descendants the Amulet of Kings and the eternal dragon fires of the imperial city. Thus does Elisea become the first gem in the Cyrodiilic Amulet of Kings. The gem is the red diamond in the middle of the amulet. This is the symbol of the empire, surrounded by 8 other gems, one for each of the divines. So long as the empire shall maintain its worship of Akatosh and his kin, and so long as Elisea's heirs shall bear the Amulet of Kings, Akatosh and his divine kin maintain a strong barrier between Tamriel and oblivion, so that mortal man need never again fear the devastating summoned hosts of the Daedra lords. If the empire should slacken in its dedication to the 8 divines, or if the blood of Elisea's heirs should fail, then shall the barriers between Tamriel and the Daedric realms fall, and Daedra worshippers might summon lesser Daedra and undead spirits to trouble the races of men. And that's really, in my opinion, the basis of all the quests. Well, not all the quests, but of the wars going on, is to make sure you got that Amulet of Kings. And we get that too. We get the Amulet of Kings from finishing that main story quest, that main storyline quest. So that's kind of cool. I never wore it. Did you ever wear it, Berg?
I'm not even sure.
I know, right? Because we don't know so much about it, but it's a treasure we do get. So that's the Amulet of Kings. So you should look through your sticker books and see if you have the Amulet of Kings.
And where would I find that?
Oh, your sticker book. So if you go into your inventory and you go to collections, and then you go into collections, there's, oops, I went to the wrong place. Never mind. Let me go out. I always do this. So if you go to, where is it? Set items instead of collections. And then here, you have to find it. I don't remember where it is. There's a new slot for the Endless Archive, by the way. Let's see. I think it's under miscellaneous, or it could be Cold Harbor. I don't know. I have to find it. Blessed Amulet, Prisoner Amulet, Stygian. No, Stygian. No, I forget. Maybe it's in the starter zone, but we get it.
Yeah, I'll probably have it. I'm not sure.
You probably have it. I have to look. I know. Maybe it's under Antiquities. I don't know. It's not under Antiquities because we didn't have that back then. It's in one of these areas. I'll have to look and find it because it's really interesting. It could be under the Ebonheart too, because they talk about Cyrodiil. Although I doubt it. Right? I doubt it.
I can look it up on the computer. It's quicker. Just type it. I'll type it.
Okay. All right. So that's the opening for today. And then let me sit down here because, if I can, on this chair, because I want to share about the 5 companions. Because if you never did the Soul Shriven, you never met the 5 companions. You don't know their position or their involvement in ESO, even though I guarantee you've heard their names mentioned repeatedly throughout your game playing, especially if you are a quester. And so I'm going to go into the lore book here. So I'm going down to journal and to the lore library right there. All right. Now I have to find it. I have to. I didn't totally prepare, you guys. I know I'm usually so prepared, but I haven't prepared as well today. And I have a listener, a live listener. Berg is in my ear, and you're getting to see how unprepared I am today. Is it in? Mm-hmm. We have so much lore in here, it's unbelievable. I can't believe I didn't have this all queued up. Is it in here? I wish there was a way. Here's what I wish we had, like in indexes like this, because the lore library, it does have an index, but I wish that there was a search button to find a specific item. Oh, there it is, right there, the 5 companions. So let me show you again how to get to it. You go to your inventory, down to journal, to lore library, and you are, when you come in, it's crafting motifs, and then it goes to eidetic memory, and then you go down to, in that section, the 5 companions. There it is, right there. And there's actually 19 volumes in total. I only have 14 of them, so I don't even have the full. The anchorite's log is not so important for us. We're going to start by reading the Chronicles of the 5 Companions, Volume 1. My name is Lyris of Skyrim, called Titanborn by some. I'm committing these words to paper on behalf of my friend and ally, a man history will remember only as the Prophet. It was through his profound insight and his study of the Elderscrolls that we came to understand the dire nature of the threat that now endangers all of Tamriel. Let it be known by those who read the words that the Soulburst, the event that took place in the 579th year of the Second Era, was due to the treachery of a single elf, the Altmeri necromancer Manny Marco, the King of Worms, and the servant of the most vile of all the Daedric princes, the god of schemes and lord of brutality, Moloch Baal. In years past, Manny Marco served as chief advisor to the court of Emperor Varen Aquileros, originally a Duke of Chorrol. Varen became Emperor of Tamriel by right of conquest. With Manny Marco's counsel, Varen led a revolt against the previous dynasty, the savage regime of Reachmen known as the Longhouse Emperors. Yet, despite his conquest and victory, Varen was not to be a true emperor. Like the former Emperor Leovic, the blood of the dragon didn't flow through Varen's veins. He was unable to light the dragon fires in the Temple of the One, as a true emperor must by tradition. The dragon fires have remained unlit for generations. This is because the Amulet of Kings, a relic of the divines gifted unto Saint Alicia by Akatosh, was lost in the centuries following the fall of the Reman dynasty. Only this relic, traditionally worn by the imperial emperors of the First Era, would allow a true-blooded ruler to spark dragon fires anew. Berg, was there something you wanted to say about something I just read?
No, I'm sorry I interrupted.
Oh, no, you didn't interrupt at all. I just thought you were getting ready to share something. Okay.
No, thank you though. Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, continuing. At Manny Markle's urging, Varen formed a group of companions to join him on an epic quest to locate this relic. These companions included myself, the Redguard Swordmaster Sai Sahan, Grand Chancellor Abnar Tharn, and Manny Marco himself. And for years we scoured the face of Tamriel, following countless leads until we finally managed to locate it. And when we returned to the Imperial City, Manny Marco played upon Varen's insecurities and convinced him that the coronation ritual, properly modified, could not only light the dragon fires, but persuade Akatosh to invest him with divine agency and gift him with the blood of the dragon. It was only after the coronation ritual was attempted that we learned the extent of Manny Marco's deception. The King of Worms used his magic to corrupt the power of the amulet, causing the calamity which came to be known as the Soul Burst. I remember very little of the actual event, only that the chaos that followed was immediate and devastating. Varen was consumed by the fiery wrath of the Soul Burst. Sai Sahan and I were unjustly implicated in his death, made all the more suspicious because Sai fled as soon as he recovered, taking the Amulet of Kings with him. Grand Chancellor Tharn was an opportunist and immediately cast his lot with Manny Marco. The prophet's story is one of mystery. He appeared one day on the steps of an abbey of the moth priests in Cyrodiil. They took him in and fed him, thinking he was nothing more than a vagabond. They were shocked when they found him in the libraries that night, poring over the eldritch etchings of an elder scroll. Only the moth priests themselves had the ability to read the scrolls, and they saw his arrival as a prophetic sign from the divines. As they do all who read them, the elder scrolls eventually took the prophet's eyesight, leaving him permanently blinded. And yet, he continued to study them in his mind's eye, and eventually foresaw the great and terrible threat that we are now faced with. Word of his prophecies spread far and wide, eventually reaching the Imperial City and the ears of Manny Marco. The King of Worms immediately arrested the prophet of rumor-mongering and treason and had the abbey and all of its contents burned to the ground. And the catastrophe that the prophet predicted began to take shape almost immediately. Vast swaths of the empire were consumed by Daedric fire, and the first dark anchors fell upon the land. Malik Bal's invasion of our world had begun, made possible by Manny Marco's betrayer. Gosh, that's a pretty heavy book when you think about it, and the lore that it's relating to us and sharing with us. Well, in honor of Veranos, I'm wearing his blindfold. I'm being blind today because I'm pretending that I've studied all of the Elder Scrolls. So there you have it. So yeah, Manny Marco kind of upset the balance between Oblivion and Tamriel and opened that gateway. I just want to take a moment to say hi out there to the viewers, to let you know I really do appreciate you, and it's so nice to have you here for this Friday. Tamriel, Storyteller. Oh, hey, Visionary, nice to see you. Nice to see you. And I'll just take a moment to just say a couple of the other viewers that are here. Strongen, I don't know, White Sand, Frank Jacobs, Tight Side, Indian Chief, Michelle, Eldridge Girl, Whiteliness. Oh my gosh, you guys have weird names. Oxygen, Tight Sight, Strong Onion, again, okay. Well, anyways, thank you so much for being here. It's really wonderful. So, Berg, I wonder, do you have any insight into that opening story of Elder Scrolls Online?
No, I have nothing to add.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it, when you think about it? Yeah, it's very rich. I do have an Elder Scrolls book right here about Elder Scrolls. Maybe I should read that next before I go on to, where'd I put it? Before I go on to, is this it right here? The Accounting of the Elder Scrolls. Let me take a look at that. It's on my library shelf. An Accounting of the Elder Scrolls by Quintus Nerevelis, former Imperial Librarian. After the supposed theft of an Elder Scroll from our Imperial Library, I endeavored to find any sort of index or catalog of the scrolls in our possession so that such situations may be avoided or at least properly verified in the future. To my dismay, I discovered that the moth priests are notoriously inexact when it comes to the actual physical manifestations of the scrolls, and had no idea how many they held or how they were recognized or organized. Merely asking the question evoked chuckles, as if a child was asking my dogs cannot talk, asking why dogs cannot talk. Oh my gosh, let me read that sentence again. Merely asking the question evoked chuckles, as if a child was asking why dogs cannot talk. I will confess my jealousy of the ones who can read the scroll grows, but I am not yet willing to sacrifice my sight to alleged knowledge. The older moth priests I attempt to engage in conversation seem as batty as any other elder who has lost their mind, so I fail to see what wisdom is imparted from the reading. In any case, I set out to create my own index of the Elder Scrolls in cooperation with the monks. Day by day, we went through the tower halls with them telling me the general nature of each Elder Scroll so that I might record its location, always careful never to glimpse the writings myself. I had only their word to go on. I meticulously drew out a map of the chamber where scrolls relating to various specific prophecies were located, where particular periods of history were housed. In all, it took nearly a year of plotting, but at last I had rough notes on the entirety of the library to begin my collation. It was here that the things began to go amiss. In studying my notes, I found many areas of overlap and outright contradiction, and in some cases different monks would claim the same scroll to be at opposite ends of the tower. I know they have no taste for jesting, or else I would suspect I was being made the fool in some game of theirs. I spoke to the older monks to relate my concerns, and he hung his head in sorrow for my wasted time. Did I not tell you, he coughed, when you started this, that all efforts would be futile? The scrolls do not exist in countable form. I had thought you meant there were too many to be counted. I replied, there are, but that is not the least of their complexities. Turn to the repository behind you and tell me how many scrolls are locked therein. I ran my fingers over the metal casings, tallying each rounded edge that they encountered. I turned back. 14, I said. Hand me the 8th one, he said, reaching out his hand. I guided the cylinder into his palm, and he gave a slight nod to acknowledge it. Now, count again. Humoring him, I again passed my hands over the scrolls, but could not believe what I was feeling. Now there are 18, I gasped. The old monk chuckled, his cheeks pushing up his blindfold until it folded over itself. And in fact, he said, there always were. Well, if it was then that I enrolled as the oldest novice ever accepted into the cult of the ancestor Moth. So I think that's a cool book. I love the Elder Scrolls book. And for those of you who are PvP players and you spend a lot of time in Cyrodiil or in the Imperial City, trying hard to get the Elder Scrolls, is it the Imperial City where they get the scrolls? Or is it the... Cyrodiil is a flag, right? Cyrodiil is the battle where they try to get each other's banner. The Imperial City is where they go to towers, take over that stronghold so that they capture that Elder Scroll. Is that right, Berg?
I think so. I wasn't concentrating. I'm just fighting somebody here. Sorry.
Berg is multitasking. Okay, so what I was saying was, because we're talking about the Elder Scrolls, and in this book that I just read about the Elder Scrolls, the exact number of Elder Scrolls cannot ever be counted up. But what I was saying, that anybody who plays PvP, I believe, in the Imperial or Cyrodiil, I don't know which, but they go in to take over strongholds so that they capture that stronghold's Elder Scroll. Isn't that correct?
Yeah. So you can pick up Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing. Anyone who's down there playing in the Imperial cities, you know that you're getting Elder Scrolls, but I think you really forget why you're getting the Elder Scrolls, and you're getting the Elder Scrolls because they're magic and they contain all the wisdom. But okay, whatever. That's semantics, I guess, and that's a quester's love of the reason behind doing anything in a game. The one other thing I want to add about the Elder Scrolls is that when you are doing the harborage and the prophet and the harborage quest line, because there are multiple chapters to that quest line, you actually get to touch the very first Elder Scroll ever created. So I think that's kind of cool. So let me do a time check here. Okay, I think I can read another book. Another book about the 5 companions. So I'm going to read volume 2. All right. Chronicles of the 5 Companions, Book 2. Once again, I, Lyris of Skyrim, commit words to paper on behalf of the prophet. In truth, he didn't ask me to write this entry, but I feel the need to keep a record of these events, whatever their outcome may be. The prophet's vision and nightmares are getting worse. He continues to witness horrifying visions of a future in which Malik Bal rules our world. These don't seem to have a profound effect on him when he is awake, but at night, in those precious few hours where he manages to drift off, the visions become increasingly disturbing. He refuses to describe them to me in great detail, but he awakens violently in a cold sweat, and it's obvious that they are wearing away at his sanity. Our ally, Aranella Unday, that's me, your reader, has already proven extremely capable. The escape from the Wailing prison was only the beginning. The Vestige, that's me, she's referring to me, risked everything to rescue me from the Foundry of Woe. I owe our new friend my life, my soul, and perhaps my very sanity. I'm going to stop right here and just add, yes, my name is written into this lore book. And yes, every time she uses the word vestige, she is referring to me and my escapade in releasing her and rescuing her. We're now chasing every available lead in our attempts to find Sai Sahan and the Amulet of Kings. If we can regain the amulet, the prophet believes that we might be able to challenge Molag Bal and save our world. As usual, he used a bunch of flowery words and obscure phrases I didn't understand, but his general meaning was clear. Sometimes I wish I'd never left Skyrim and gone to Cyrodiil. I fought for a great man that I believed in, met another that I came to cherish dearly, and had my share of blood and glory. But was it all worth it? Cyrodiil will always be the place where I first laid eyes on that traitorous skeever Manny Marco and his sniveling toady Abner Tharn. I don't know which is worse, Manny Marco's charm and eloquence as he prepared to backstab us, or Tharn's endless insults and irritating condensation. At least with Tharn, we always knew where we stood. The prophet said that Tharn's part in this isn't finished. I can't imagine any good coming of that. After all, that sniveling son of a goat went right back to licking Manny Marco's boot after the soul burst. He'd do anything to save his own hide and preserve his family's status in the imperial city. I must bring this entry to a close. I hear the prophet stirring. All right, if you have never had the opportunity to meet Lyris, Titanborn, she is quite a character. She is huge. She's a giant of a woman. She's Nordic. And she's just very, very cool. I think she is the true role model for all female warriors here in Tamriel. All right, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and read book 3 of the 5 companions. Well, there it is. Tharn's back with us, and I don't like it one bit. Arinella Unday and I managed to get into Manny Marco's castle with a little help from our soul-shriven friend, Sir Cadwell. Cadwell's like a wisp, a little light in the upper marsh, if you get my meaning, but he can be damned useful at times, and he shows up in the damnedest places. While we risked our necks fighting through worm cultists and flesh atronachs, Tharn projected his smirking image to different parts of the castle, goading us on. We eventually got to the tower where he was being held, but Manny Marco was ready for us and raised all manner of undead to challenge us. In the end, we defeated them and escaped with Tharn, but there's the topper. Tharn lied to us. He has no idea where Sai is being held or where the Amulet of the Kings is hidden. Of course, he claims he can help us find both, but when he admitted his lie, I lost my temper and laid him out on the floor with a single punch. Gods, it felt good. That was a long time coming. That's when Tharn spilled the beans. He told Arianella Unday that we'd been lying and revealed the prophet's true identity. Lord Farron immediately admitted everything, of course. I hope it wasn't too soon. It's vital that we maintain Arianella Unday's trust, and now I can see doubt behind the Vestige's eyes. Tharn is such a lying skeever. All he cares about is his empire and his family's status. Lord Varen believes Tharn's here for a reason, but I don't trust him and I never will. I plan to keep a close eye on him. So, the one thing I do want to share is that each of these volumes are given to you. They're unlocked and given to you after you finalize one chapter of the main soul-shriven and quest that takes you into the prophet and the harborage. And every time you go and do one of the tasks and come back, one of these books have been unlocked for you. So you're collecting them. You collect 9 until you complete the original Prophet and Harborage story quest. So I think at this point I want to stop here. We'll come back next week. I'll continue reading about the 5 companions, because I think it's that important to know. But I would like to just read something a little playful, maybe. So I'm going to go on up here, back up to upstairs, up to my library up here. Going back up into the retreat, and yeah, I'm gonna go over here to my bookshelf and see what there is to read today. Let me see. Maybe this book. Let's see. What about this book? This. Gosh darn it, I always pick the wrong book. Oh, God, it always tries to bite me. This damn book. I just got to get rid of it. Every time I get rid of it, I think it's gone. I burn it up. I don't know how it always replaces itself on the bookshelf, but it sure does, and it's always a struggle. And these are the funnest books of all. They're playful, and, but man, oh man. Okay, so let me see. That book I was looking for, where could it be? I thought I had some nice books in here about the Harvest Sin. Let's do that, because that's this time of the year. So let's see if there's something fun in here. Let me see. Nope, we're not going to read that book. That's too serious. Let's see. I thought I had something in here that was really fun to read. See how unprepared I am today, my friends? I just... Really? Well, let's read the 8 Steps of Mummification. The 8 Steps of Mummification, because I know you all want to learn how to do this to preserve your dearly departed. But this was written by Fez Manny of the Steady Hand, priest of Tuwaka. Step the first. Consecrate the body with the blessing of Tuwaka. Step the second. Remove all internal organs before they can decay, causing unsightly stains. Step the third. Remove all brain tissue. This is to be done through the nostrils using the hook spoons so as to avoid damaging the skin of face and head. This is kind of morbid, but step the fourth. Dehydrate the body by coating it in parched salt and placing packets of parched salt within its cavities. Step the fifth. Replace lost volume within the body with inert material, paying special attention to restoring the features of the face. Step the sixth. The layers of wrapping. Wrap the body in 100 paces of linen. Then coat the linen with warm juniper resin. Do this 3 times. So that means you're repeating step the sixth 3 times. That's a lot of wrapping. Boy, I don't know. That adds a lot of inches to the physical form. Makes you look a lot bigger than you might be. But, oh well, I guess it doesn't matter if you're dead. Okay, step the seventh. The adorning of amulets. Array the body in amulets and bracelets that represent the station of the body in life. Embellishments are always nice, huh? And step the eighth. Place the body in a prepared sarcophagus. Proceed to burial in the necropolis. All right, well, I think that's kind of interesting. And I once read a book. It was something about, I don't remember the name of it, but it was all about, maybe it was called The Book of Dead. I don't remember where I saw it. It was in some sandy place, and I came across it, and it was all about death and dying and reincarnation, returning, changed, you know. Anyways, I don't know. All right, here's the last book for today, my friends. Sit back and enjoy as I read you this. And yeah, here we go. This is a folk tale, which I don't have yet. So I can't open that and read it for you. So, let's find something else. Well, we're in Televani, and after today's Storyteller Hour, just so y'all have a heads up, Berg and I are going to run the event, which I'll tell you all about at that time. Do we have a fun little thing to read? Bringing Home the Trolls. That sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? I'm not going to read any of this, so I don't feel like it. Well, I think, you know what? I think I've done it for today. I think the words, let's end with words of the poet, okay? Oh, I don't have a child's Tamriel Beastiary. Oh, that might be fun. A Child's Tamriel Beastiary by Shane Orth. Clever, no? Haha. Okay, so this is written, for those of you who may not know that name, by the Mad God. Okay. A is for Elite, a two-legged lizard with enough underbite to swallow a wizard. B is for Banekin, a mean Daedric minion whose masters are found on the plains of oblivion. C is for Charish, big bug of the snowlands. Don't try to pet or he'll snip off your hands. D is for Dune Ripper of desert so deep it'll chomp off your legs from below as you sleep. E is for the eagle, so loved by the elves they plaster its image all over themselves. F is for fated wraith, haunting the tomb, lurking in dark to deliver your doom. G is for giant of Skyrim, I've heard. He keeps woolly mammoths and tends to his herd. H is for Horvor, huge tick of the wood, that's eager to catch you and drain all your blood. I is for Imp, an obnoxious pest, who'll fry you with spells for the sake of a jest. J is for Jackal, who haunts Bankarai with mouth at the right height to nip out your eye. K is for Quama, in Morrowind found. They live in bug tunnels far beneath the ground. L is for Lamia, snake hag of the wild, who hopes she might corner a lost little child. M is for Mudcrab, annoyance, ubiquitous, nasty, unpleasant, ugly, iniquitous, I don't know that word. N is for Nyx hounds, pack hunting bugs, alchemists render their flesh to make drugs. O is for ogre, whose wits are quite dim, but if one should catch you, your prospects are grim. P is for pigs, relatives of the boars, that wood elves will ride instead of a horse. R is for raven, dark nocturnal's totem. I hear hers can talk, and then you can quote 'em. S is for Spriggan, root, bark, and bough. It hides in that thicket, it's watching you now. T is for thunderbug, vast, shocking beetle. Its pincers will get you, or its serrated fetal. U is for undead, necromancy, slaves. Apocalypse comes when they rise from their graves. V is for vampire, ready to drill ya, 'cause she's got a case of hemophilia. I don't know. W is for wisp, evil glow ball that beckons. Don't follow or you'll be seen no more, I reckons. X is for Zabeli, Daedric assassin, who'll pop off your head on a whim as he's passing. Y is for Yukuden, warhorse, the forebear, knight's mount that he rides when he goes off to warfare. Z is for zombies, you knew they'd be last. Run, don't be walking, a few are quite fast. I used to read a very, very fun childhood book to my son when he was little, and I always loved the X. The X marked the spot where animals are sometimes not. Anyways, my friends, let's go shut down our tome here, our tome, I should say. Let's close it, and let's close these doors. And with that said, my dear ones, this our Tamriel Storyteller does come to a close. Thank you so very much, everyone. I really, really appreciate you for tuning in and for watching. And thanks to Burke for lending his ear. So bye, everyone. We'll see you next. Oh wait, I'm not sure about next Friday. Let me tell you why. Next week is the American Thanksgiving. It's an important holiday for us, just like it is for everyone who has a Thanksgiving, and it's a very big family get together and such. I don't know if I'll be here. I may not. It depends. So if I don't see you next Friday, I'll see you in December. Oh my gosh. All right. Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you. Bye for now.